Continental today.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery, online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wow, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco basket. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, it's looking like a very pleasant day with mostly sunny skies and light breeze. The afternoon high should be around 82. Tonight we'll see clear skies with an overnight low of around 59. Tomorrow we'll see more sunshine, a little bit breezy and warmer. Tomorrow we'll see an afternoon high of around 90. Meteorologist Kyle Buckler for 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up. Wait a minute. That ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Welcome into the Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket. We have a good show planned up for you. Of course, we have the Royals taking over at 12:30 for our traditional radio airwaves. So just keep that in mind. If you want to listen to the whole show, you can join us on one of our plentiful streams there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're also on Allo Channel 951. So you can reach out to all of those, or you can hit up theticketfm.com after the show, our YouTube page. We usually got some of the broadcasts going on there. I shouldn't say usually, every time. Yeah, that'll be a way to check it out. We've got Brian Munson of Husker Online joining us for our weekly recruiting update. here in about 15, 20 minutes. So that will be exciting. Until then, I'm just going to sit here and make fun of Rico's New York Knicks, who are now officially under 500.
No, my Knicks aren't under 500.
Not Knicks, the Yankees, yeah.
My Yankees are. My Knicks finished above 500.
Yeah.
They finished as the 5th seed in the East.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Yankees being bad.
The Yankees are terrible. Under 500 this late in the season for the first time since 1995.
Wow, that is a long time.
They have not been under 500, I believe, since 1995. Haven't finished a season under 500 since 1995.
That in itself is actually pretty miraculous.
It is. And now it's Aaron Boone who's ruining everything.
Yeah.
It's not just Aaron Boone. It's the front office as well. The players haven't been playing up to their usual level of goodness. Luis Severino can't get out of like the 3rd inning ever in a game. His season ERA is like 7.3. Garrett Cole is doing what he has to do, but the offense just doesn't want to do it. I think they got shut out 2 nights in a row. Garrett Cole only allowed like 1 run in his start 2 nights ago. I think it was his last start, and they still lost. Aaron Judge can't stay healthy. Giancarlo Stanton can't stay healthy. Nobody's healthy. I don't know what's happening. It's so bad. It's so bad. They had Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing left field. He usually plays like shortstop and second base. That's how bad it is.
What are they? But they're still about 7 games out of a wild card
Yeah,
contention. It's not like it's over.
Like the thing is, like
4
they
games
could
left.
still make the playoffs, but this season is like awful.
Yeah.
They could go on a tear and end up making the playoffs, but I wouldn't expect them to do anything good. Like they're so bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad, man.
They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, so they're particularly. That's why Rico particularly feels in the dumps about it, is they've been playing bad baseball.
Like after the
for a
All-Star
while.
break, they were like 8 games over 500, and it was like, yeah, okay, maybe they can salvage some sort of season now. You know, maybe they don't make the playoffs, maybe they'll sneak in the wild card, but they'll finish over 500. And now it's just a poop show, just a massive poop show in the Bronx.
Which is the way I prefer it.
The
I'm glad to see the
pinstripes are
Yankees
terrible. The O's are leading the division somehow.
Yeah, which is strange.
The Red Sox, who are also bad, are not as bad.
Hey, they're not bad. They're actually doing pretty good given their season expectations.
The Blue Jays, who are supposed to be like a favorite this season, are the middle of the road team, 67 and 55. The Orioles and the Rays, somehow the Rays are always, at the top these last few years. But the Orioles, 74 and 47. Although the Rays are about to fall off the face of the earth after Wander Franco is no longer. I think he got suspended, and somebody said they'd be surprised if he ever plays again. So yeah, Wander Franco is a big old dummy.
You got your King Griffey Jr. shirt on, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna wear an Aaron Judge shirt just to laugh at myself. I was gonna be like, "Hey, look, I'm wearing a Yankee shirt and they suck," but I decided against it. I decided Ken Griffey Jr. makes me happy.
Ken Griffey Jr. always makes almost everybody happy.
Your favorite player's favorite player.
That's right. It's universally beloved.
The Yankees are the only team in the AL East with a losing record, and the only team in the AL East with a negative run differential. They are negative 14. The next closest is the Boston Red Sox at plus 26.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Do you want to know who else? Some other teams with negative run differentials that are close to the Yankees. The Los Angeles Angels at negative 18. They are 60-62. A lot of other teams are way worse than they are. The Cincinnati Reds, 63-59, negative 20. The Milwaukee Brewers are leading the NL Central, and they have a negative 4 run differential.
Do you have a problem with a losing baseball team with the MVP like Shohei Ohtani?
No. Because he can only do so. Like he is the best player in baseball right now, but he can only do so much.
It's
like Mike Trout.
inarguable.
It's like before Shohei got there with Mike Trout with the
Right.
Angels. Like he was the best player in baseball, but he can only do so much.
But then
that's the thing with baseball is you can be like an all generation type talent, and your team can still suck.
Yeah.
Because you hit solo home runs every time you're up to bat. You'll have 4 runs, 5 runs just from yourself. But if your pitching sucks, you'll lose like 8-5.
Yeah, it is. I'm like the stars in baseball for a long time have not necessarily translated to wins. You get a good roster around them, you can, but it is kind of interesting. And it just kind of goes back to what you believe the MVP stands for. You break it down. Well, most valuable player. How can you be that valuable if your team's not any good? Well, in baseball, again, like you said, it doesn't necessarily equate to wins all the time.
That's like the Heisman. Just because you be the best player on the best team, but Lamar Jackson has a season like he did with Louisville, and it's like, well, wait a minute, this guy's the best player in college football right now.
But at least the Heisman too, it doesn't have like within the wording of MVP is most valuable player. At least the Heisman is just kind of like, it's whatever you want it to mean.
Well, I mean, so if you take Shohei off of the Angels, I mean, they're the Oakland Athletics. Like they're bad.
Maybe.
Like they're not good. They're not winning it. They have somebody else starting in his spot for pitching, and they're probably losing all of those games. They're not having as many home runs, RBIs, hits, stolen bases that he's able to put in there. They're gonna have somebody else in there who won't be hitting at the same level as Shohei Ohtani. So they'll be very bad. He is the most valuable person to that team. If you put him on any other team, they're great, right?
Do you want to see him on another team because of
100%?
I mean, because they don't.
Just like I want to see
don't
Mike
think
Trout on
so.
a different team.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. I would love to see both of them on the Yankees, obviously. But if Shohei went to, let's find another good team that's not like the best team. If Shohei played for the Giants, they're 64-57. I mean, they're second place in the NL West. Like that'd be pretty fun. If Mike Trout went to Philadelphia, that'd be fun. I think he's from Philadelphia or the area. That'd be fun. They'd be a really good team. They're 66-55 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if either one of them went to Atlanta, like that'd just be unfair. If they went to the Dodgers, it'd be unfair. If they went to the Texas Rangers, who are good now, that'd be great.
But at least we'd see him in the postseason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're with the Angels, and you never see them in the postseason.
Yeah. Kind of frustrating.
If they went to Baltimore, it'd be weird.
Major League Baseball kind of has to kind of figure out to a degree. He's got to get your stars to the
Yeah.
postseason.
Stop signing 10-year contracts.
Yeah, those giant contracts. Oh man,
He's gonna sign like a
professional
Shohei's gonna sign like a 10-year, $700 million contract.
Yeah.
Like we know this, right? That's crazy money, and he's gonna go somewhere and probably still miss the playoffs.
We'll never see him in the playoffs.
Unless he goes to the Dodgers. Granted, the only teams that are going to sign him to those kind of contracts are like the Yankees, Dodgers, Houston, San Diego, like the big market teams.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe I'll go to Kansas City. He feels bad for him.
Don't give
Shohei to Kansas City. Why not?
Because there's less. That's just no chance.
Maybe he just really loves barbecue.
Could be.
And he's just like,
maybe
I
he
don't know,
goes off on his own idea.
He's like, I just love the middle of the United States.
Now are they doing something with Kauffman Stadium?
They're trying to if by doing something with Kauffman Stadium you mean leaving,
tearing it down.
You mean leaving? They're planning on that. I think they have the blueprints and the downtown stadium is in the works, but I don't know how soon that'll be.
They better bring the fountains.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I just like I wanted them to bring the crown, but I don't think they will.
The
So now you're not allowed to have a video board in like dead center. But since they already had it, they were grandfathered in, so they still have it. But the new stadium is not going to have that because you can't.
Yeah. That's
so we'll see what happens.
That's too bad. I don't like change, and that's why I don't want to see Kauffman Stadium go away.
Yeah, you're a big anti-change guy.
Yeah, but I'm having to adjust.
Get
to
off
it.
my lawn.
That's right. I've learned to adjust to it and tried to embrace it because it's the only constant in life.
We're making fun of baseball, and you have like an ESPN baseball hat on.
I wasn't making fun of baseball.
Yeah, we're making fun of baseball.
We're making fun of the Yankees
and the
Angels.
Of
the fact that baseball doesn't have their best players in the playoffs.
How is the most valuable team in baseball though? It's just terrible. Just complete and utter butt. They're terrible.
No, I don't know what
the pinstripe. Do the pinstripes mean nothing? Huh, Aaron Boone? Do the pinstripes mean nothing to you?
Are you turning on Aaron Boone? Is Aaron Boone gonna get fired?
Yes.
Yeah.
He should have been fired 2 years ago, but then they had
right.
some miraculous thing, and Aaron Judge won an MVP the next year, and everybody goes, "Oh, wait a minute, Aaron Boone might have something up here," and then it's like, okay, no. He's gone. The front office needs an overhaul. I don't know what they've been doing. One of the players said that they learned nothing in the minors, but they have like the best, like in terms of numbers, their hitting is fantastic. But for some reason, they get up to Yankee Stadium and can't do anything. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's good.
At least we have Harrison Bader.
I say, the rest of Major League Baseball and all the fans. I mean, you're literally complaining about the first time in 3 decades that your team is below 500 this late in the season.
And they're one game under 500.
They're one game under 500.
And they suck.
this is a pretty common experience for almost every other baseball.
How do
fan,
Royals fans feel?
let alone Royals fans, who are used to waiting 30 years to have a chance to win a championship.
How do Cubs fans feel? Let me see. How do Oakland Athletics fans feel? Your team's gonna leave you, and I'm sitting here complaining about my team being one game under 500.
As my team's like 3.5 games ahead of yours, and I'm like, yeah, they're doing pretty good this
You're
year.
just like, that's a pretty decent season.
They're doing pretty good.
Ridiculous.
They don't suck. But
This is the worst.
Like we said, the struggle.
Like your team's only 3 games out of making the wild card.
Yeah, that's what your team's really not all that far.
They're
behind.
6.5 games out.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
But
left.
you know what? We're making fun of the Angels for sucking. They're only 7 games out. And I'm sitting here like, God, the Yankees are
There's
garbage.
no chance.
Just
But
the worst.
that's what happens.
Put it this way: the Cleveland Guardians are in 2nd place in the AL Central, and they are currently 8.5 games out of the wild card. The leaders for the wild card are the Tampa Bay Rays at 73-50. The Houston Astros at 70-52. Those are your 2 wild card teams. 70-win teams in the wild card.
Now, are there 3 wild cards now?
I believe. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I actually know this. I haven't paid attention to baseball for a while. The Toronto Blue Jays 67-55. 2 AL East teams, possibly in the wild card.
Yes, that's almost like guarantee.
Redonkulous.
And that's part of the reason the Yankees are bad this year. Just tough competition. They play more games against the AL East.
This is dumb. They're on a 5-game losing streak. 2-8 in their last 10, like you said. 35-28 at home. They can't win on the road. I hate this team. This team sucks.
Well, thankfully, you'll be able to turn your attention to college football pretty soon.
Thank goodness.
2 weeks away.
I swear, if Nebraska sucks, I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, again, it comes down to what are your expectations? Do you expect 8 or 9 wins? Do
No.
you expect 6 wins?
I hope for 6 wins. I expect nothing. I hope for things. I expect nothing anymore.
You gotta
Because if you expect things, you'll get let down.
That's right.
Just hope.
Just hope.
Keep hope alive.
So, what are you hoping for Nebraska football?
I'm hoping for them to win 6 games and more.
And more.
Or more.
Or more.
Whichever one happens.
How about Minnesota?
Yeah, that's a game that's going to happen. I don't know. I
can't wait for that game. We've been talking about it all off season, obviously.
Like there's a
2
way.
weeks away now.
There's obviously a way that Nebraska can win this game, and there's a way that they can get blown out. Like Minnesota has been together. You know, PJ Fleck's been there for however many years. He's got his offense and his defense installed. They have 2 offensive coordinators, which is weird. But he's got Ethan Kaliak-Manis, who rumors are he wanted to, have as a starter last season, but stuck with Tanner Morgan because he'd been there for 12 years and was a doctor already. He's losing his best running back, but if you know anything about Minnesota, their offensive line and their running backs are going to be pretty solid regardless. They have some really talented wide receivers and a really talented tight end. Their defense is pretty solid as well. Like, I don't know. They're just just a well put together team. And then there's Nebraska, who's learning everything. Yeah. Everything is new.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to expect for Nebraska. I'm interested to see kind of the time of possession battle, particularly because Minnesota is, that's usually their bread and butter, but now they're going to try to use their perimeter athletes a little bit more. Their running backs more of a scat back more than your typical kind of bruiser there. So, and then on the opposite side, Nebraska is turning the page to where they want to kind of be a time of the possession type of team. So I think it could feel like a short game. The other thing is it will be shorter because there's not going to be the time stoppage after first.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
NCAA. So that will be something we all have to get adjusted to. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on stream, it will be Brian Munson for our weekly Husker recruiting update. On radio will be Royals pregame. That's coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, Nebraska's leading John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Each combine includes our A-plus uptime program to keep you running flawlessly throughout harvest season. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model equipment. Find what you like, and we'll deliver to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
And after the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy to be back with you here on 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket Water Cooler. We have, as usual, we'd like to get a little bit of Husker recruiting update every week from Brian Munson of Husker Online. So we've welcomed him back via the Allo Fiber VIP line. Just 2 weeks away from football. Brian, it's coming in on us. Are you ready for football to kick off?
I am. I think I put the cart a little bit ahead of the horse the other day. I think I was thinking that next week was. I had some basically, some wishful thinking. I thought it was next week. I lost track of my weeks in the month of August, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I did that this morning. I was like, oh yeah, next week I get to watch Nebraska. I'm going to go watch UNK play, and I get a 5-day weekend for Labor Day, and they go, that's not next week, dude. You got another week before that can happen. I was like, oh my goodness. I've got total
warning.
Total vacation of football in the brain.
Yeah, well, that sounds about just like everybody here. We're looking forward to it. Thankfully now, just 2 weeks away. I wish it could be 1 week, but you can still watch week 0. That's probably that can maybe catch you up a little bit there.
We got and there's a big scrimmage tonight, and I think that's the reason why I was thrown off. I'm going to go out and watch 2 of Nebraska's commitments down here in the Dallas area square off against one another. So Kewan Lacey from Lancaster is going to play against Mario Buford from DeSoto at Lancaster tonight. This is probably a huge game. I mean, it's like it would be a huge game if it was a Friday night like regular game, but I mean, there's some seriously talented dudes playing tonight.
So this has absolutely nothing to do with Nebraska football, but you said that, and I reminded me that you're in Texas, and I keep seeing this on Twitter. Melissa High School, 40 miles north of Dallas, just opened a $35 million football complex with a 10,000-seat stadium and state-of-the-art indoor practice facility. The school only has 1,300 students. Is that just kind of standard for Texas high schools?
It's getting to be that way. Melissa, so for people like that don't understand the Metroplex is booming. I can't go on the road without seeing, several transplant license plates, people that have moved to the Metroplex. There's a lot of new headquarters that have moved over here in the last 3 years during COVID. We used to get letters in our mailbox like, I will buy your house tomorrow. It was really, really, really wild. Melissa is kind of on a fast track. Everything's kind of booming north, pushing towards the Red River. So if you're out of Denton going to Little Elm, or if you're out of McKinney pushing towards Melissa, that's the way that things are going. There's going to be they're talking about another beltway, kind of going north of what the existing ones are already at. So it's kind of layered out. This will be the third layer essentially of that beltway. So Melissa's had talent. They've had incredible D1 talent over the last couple of years. They got a defensive lineman this year that was supposed to visit Nebraska in March that decided suddenly that he was not going to go to Lincoln. He was going to go down to Austin and check stuff out. So, the funny thing is too, it's like if you have an option about like where to go ahead and live in the northern side of Dallas. So if you're going as you push north, it goes like Richardson, Plano, McKinney, then you kind of get into the Melissa area, then you get kind of out of it and you go to Sherman and whatever. But if you're looking for a spot to live, you really have 2 of the largest, kind of areas stadiums for your child to play in if they play football. You have Allen Stadium, which I think originally was like an $80 million stadium that seats like 35 or 45,000. So we had the pleasure of playing there my son's junior year. And that's where we got knocked out in the second round. And then McKinney ISD Stadium is actually bigger than Allen's, and it's shared among like 3 or 4 high schools now that McKinney has, and I think it seats like 50,000. So as you kind of keep moving north, now all of a sudden Melissa comes in and they do the $30 million deal, and you get a 10,000 foot stadium, and that's about, a little less than that is what we typically would get at our home stadium down here in Rockwall. But that's like what you can kind of expect. The first time I ever went to and I'll wrap this up quick, but the first time I ever went to a high school football game down here, it was Garland High versus Plano High. And it was a Friday night game, and ESPN was covering it. There was a 500-piece marching band. There were about 7,500 people there. They had the big inflatable helmets with all the smoke, and this was 1999, and I was losing my mind. I mean, just at the amount of people and the spectacle and the production that goes along with it. It's every Friday night, wherever you have it, you're getting that type of production. So there's some amazing places, like going out to Longview to go see a game. You can't beat the Lobos cry out there. Going to Lancaster for a game. I mean, it's really amazing to kind of come down here and check out some high school games.
I got to make it down there for some high school action at some point, because that does sound really cool.
Yeah, I
and
just
really
looked up
fun.
the Allen High School Stadium, and that looks better than some colleges.
Yeah, and go look up McKinney ISD's shared stadium. I mean, it is spectacular. It is unbelievable. There were so many people so when we played Duncanville in the fall of 2019, that's Jackson Smith and Jigba's high school football team. My son played with. We had people sitting in the aisles. I mean, there were close to 50,000 people there that day for the 4th or 5th round high school football playoff game in December. It was amazing.
That is amazing. Again, if you have time, search it. We're kind of looking it up now on
Those things are huge.
yeah, on the internet. It's really cool to see. Jumping into some recruiting here, Brian. I know one name that kind of caught our eye at some point for Husker recruiting made his decision. Williams Nwarney choosing to go to Missouri. Has Nebraska kind of been out of this thing for a while, or is this something they've been fighting with still?
Yeah, I think Nebraska was not going to go down without a fight. They were able to get Nwarney back on campus last spring after Bill Bush, rejoined the staff. That was a huge thing. I mean, getting Bill in the Kansas City area under Scott Frost was really critical in getting, Williams Nwarney to get back over there and check stuff out. Now, Williams obviously was there again, I think in March for the junior day. It might have been before then. I'm going off the top of my head. He has visited one time, but I mean, he was there for one day, quickly out, went to Ohio State the next day. So it was very kind of easy to kind of put it in the baffles. And he got elevated on 3. He was always the number one defensive lineman at that point in March, but then he moved to the top of the list overall as the number 1 overall player in the nation in this year's class too, probably a month or 2 ago. So spectacular player. Nebraska obviously, wanted to take this one a little bit deeper. I think that he announced a top 4, top 5 that did not include Nebraska. And honestly, I didn't really think that they would even get him back on campus. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, it felt like he had a connection with Bill Bush. It felt like he going through another change like that. I think it's very easy to kind of forget about a school because there's just like a lack of stability. But I think what, Coach Dvoracek, Coach Rule, and what they had been trying to do in the Kansas City area, I think it made them feel like they had to go back and take a look. And, they had the facilities obviously that were there. But yeah, Nebraska put their best foot forward on him and several others like an Aiden Breland, who's coming down, looking like closely like he's going to make a decision too. Another top-rated defensive lineman that it looks like Nebraska's going to miss out on. But it's just like Nebraska just doesn't have enough oomph like behind it. They don't have that kind of track record. They don't have it showing like how the trajectory of how they're playing on the football field yet. But it's really encouraging that Nebraska can get those types of players, whether they're regional players or national players, to visit already without having kind of that team that's 8-4, 9-3 the year before, as opposed to a 4-8 team with the change of the head coach position.
Now, is there such a thing as maybe like trying to go after like too big a fish and spending too much time on guys that maybe are a long shot, or do you think that if you cast a wide net, you might bring some of them in, and but you still have time for maybe some more of the realistic signees that you have?
Well, I think with a few of these guys, obviously, I mean, NIL comes into the equation. I think that they want to go ahead and kind of check out everything about what is on the table, what the possibilities are, what can be kind of expected. Obviously, I think we announced my 3 and out on Wednesday. There's a really kind of unique law that just got passed in the and just got signed by the state governor of Missouri yesterday, where in-state players, as soon as they sign basically the financial paperwork with an in-state institution, they are eligible to start receiving NIL benefits. So that's a really interesting kind of twist on how things. Nebraska's been trying for years to get a little bit more established in the state of Missouri, and it seemed like they get a guy and then they kind of go on a drought. And maybe they get some interest for some more guys and not get anybody. This isn't going to help. These are the types of situations here that obviously Nebraska has to be very competitive in that area. And I think that's why you get those top guys are out there doing that research as opposed to just kind of funneling themselves to last year's national champion or the last year's runner-up or here are the top 4 teams last year or whatever. I think that they're having to be having to vet quite a few more programs to kind of figure out like where things are all at. I think honestly where a team is at in the likelihood of success always it seems to be winning out more often than just like the NIL side. But the NIL side, compensation at some of those schools too, where the Georgias, the Tennessees, etc. Those are some of the best NIL kind of programs that they have in place right now. So I mean, it seems like they're kind of going hand in hand.
Well, Missouri will be important for the future of Nebraska as well as Iowa. We all know about the 500-mile radius and just recruiting the Midwest in general. Grant Brix is still a big name that Nebraska is in on, and we're looking forward to. There's only a few more names out there, but Grant Brix, it was kind of been reported nearing a decision. Any more updates on him?
So I talked to Grant last Sunday. He said that he was really getting close to making a decision. He felt like it was going to be before his first game. I believe his first game is on the 25th. So we're about a week away where I think, some news is going to start coming up. Now, I think it could extend into the week after. He's really just, I think he's motivated to make a decision, but I think he's also discouraged that he has to make a couple of phone calls and tell some schools that he's not coming there. I just don't feel like he likes to let people down. So I think that's a big part of it. But I do feel like we're getting close. I feel like Nebraska's in a really good spot there. I think that as long as the timeline grows longer, all the way closer up to the official announcement date, I think it really helps Nebraska out when you're the closest school that he's considering. I do feel like the major competition for him is really Oklahoma. I'm not going to sit here and rule Kansas State completely out because he did tell me that night that all 3 programs were sort of even to him and that he couldn't make a bad decision. And that's where I kind of feel like geography kind of always tends to be kind of the tiebreaker, among schools. It's usually the one thing you kind of come back to and say, I can go here and, my parents and family and relatives don't have to go several hundred miles more to go see me play on a Saturday afternoon.
Now we do know that there's a big class already kind of for this team. We already mentioned just a few more maybe targets out there to add to the class. What does that mean as we start to get into the season in official visits? Usually a big interest in seeing, who's coming to check out Nebraska. Is it just not going to be that big of an official visit type year for Nebraska?
It's really not. I mean, we know about Brandon Baker, coming in the week of September 15th, which I think is the first home game against NIU. We have heard some about a couple of teammates from Salt Lake City coming in the last weekend in September, and I'm not sure if those visits actually even happen. I think it's really going to matter, like with where Nebraska's kind of at, after Brix. Do they get a pass rusher here, here in the coming weeks? Because it's like you've got a Jayshon Ross potentially, who could be a guy that I think is very high on Nebraska's board as they look for that pass rushing guy, along with like a Devu Tuataga, who's also from like Eagle Mountain, Utah, who visited in July. So there's really not a lot of, like, by this point right now, guys, I would probably know of a double-digit total of official visitors. Right now, I think I only feel confident that I know one. And it's going to be a very, very different thing. I mean, you're talking about 24 guys already in the 2024 class. I think Nebraska is probably looking to add, between 2 and 4 more players to the class. And I think that, you've already taken all those guys have taken official visits except for Willis McGahee the fourth. So McGahee would be another guy that we would know about that would be coming in at some point this fall. Other than that, I think you're going to see guys just traveling on their own dime, doing the unofficial trips. And then you're going to see, I think Nebraska wants to turn the page very, very quickly and start looking at these 2025s and really trying to get, Alex Mansky, the quarterback out of Iowa, to try to get him in the class shortly after his junior year, and try to close Christian Jones, the stud linebacker, out of West Side. So I think that I think that what they're seeing right now is that they can kind of close off their efforts here, move on to the next, and try to really keep improving on what they're doing, as they're recruiting, each and every next class.
That's interesting you mentioned that. Just kind of last question, because I had thought that Stone Sanders is kind of their primary quarterback target. Do you think Mansky's kind of overtaken that?
I do. Stone Saunders, actually, you said Stone, right?
Yep.
Stone committed to Kentucky.
Oh, okay. That's right.
But things changed radically there. So I think what happened was there was a change, I think, at the offensive coordinator coaching spot at Kentucky. And as soon as that happened, I think that there was a connection back from, I think, him back to Saunders' family or to Stone himself. So that changed. I mean, Stone visited in June, I believe, or maybe even in March, and things really kind of went quiet. I think, actually, he might have been in June too, and then Mansky camped, and then Mansky got the offer after camp, and Nebraska really kind of shifted all of their attention from that point over to Mansky. So Mansky taking his third trip to Nebraska at the end of July was really a great sign for the Huskers.
Now, Brandon Baker, and this will be the last one before we get you out. Brian Munson, Husker Online. Brandon Baker, you said he's going to visit. What are the short answer? What are the odds that Nebraska will be in the top 5 for Brandon Baker?
I think there's a decent chance. I think he really likes the staff. I think he really likes Nebraska. I don't think that there's a school that he's considering that has a better path to him seeing early playing time. I think obviously Oregon is the team to beat. They have a family tie there. His brother played there. But I think there's a decent chance that Nebraska could end up making that next cut.
Well, there you have it. Thanks again for the time, Brian. We've got about 2 weeks before the kickoff of Husker football. Of course, like we were mentioning at the beginning of this interview, high school football on its way. So best of luck. Have some fun with football season back.
You guys had to remind me that I was a week off again. Okay, I'm going to roll back into my sleep and wake me up in a week and a half.
All right, Brian.
Later, guys.
Later. There he goes. Brian Munson of Husker Online. Always great to hear from Brian and kind of get updates on Nebraska recruiting. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back here, wrap up the Ticket Water Cooler, invite Nick Sainert in to preview Happy Hour coming next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with all the local and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and list of specials online at mckinneyspub.com or just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off. Mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934. HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks again for Brian Munson of Husker Online jumping on and giving us a recruiting update. It's now time for the crossover here with Nick Singer of Happy Hour as we get ready for the show today. Guys, what's coming up on the show?
We got Lincoln Northwest football coach Brian Lauk on at 1:30, so we'll talk to him, I should say, about his Falcons, as they had to forfeit their season after just 3 games last year. They had practice on a dirt patch last year. Now they have a field. There's a lot of new and improved elements to their season this year. So they're going to be able to field 4 separate teams. They're like last year they had to play JV. Just a lot of improvements, much better spot that Lincoln Northwest is in their second year of organized football. So.
Good for the Falcons.
That's fascinating to see how it kind of starts here. And of course, our own high school football coverage coming up. Let me ask you, at least preseason, what are the best teams in Lincoln we're looking at this year?
Ooh. I'm real intrigued with Lincoln North Star just because of their coaching staff. Obviously, Tommy Armstrong is on that staff. But they got James Thompson now, who's the head coach. So that's really intriguing. Southeast is always going to be good with Ryan Gatula coaching them.
You should have told me. I live right. Ellie's daycare is like across the street from North Star. I see them practicing all the time. I could have gone and told you how their practices looked.
You still can.
You can still do that. You just
if you thought about it, I don't have to tell you. You can just do it.
I need the high school guy to tell me.
Anyway,
what do I do?
Give
me the camera.
Watch their practice. No. Well, first you will ask James.
Yeah, first I have to ask.
But no,
can't
anyway,
just show up. Hey, what are you doing here? I just watch practice.
just watching. I scout for every other team in Lincoln.
Yep. Tell them everything you're doing.
But no, so Lincoln North Star is obviously intriguing. Lincoln Southeast is always. They have still got Max Butenbach, who's a 2023 Nebraska football commit. It'll be my 3rd year of watching Butenbach run in the backfield. So
has he gotten any better?
Yeah, he's gotten very good. He's committed to Nebraska baseball his sophomore year, going into his sophomore year. So he's just been every single time we have a Lincoln Southeast game, it's like the Husker baseball commit, Max Butenbach. So I mean, it'll be good. They got a guy returning at quarterback under center, and then I mean Lincoln East also. Lincoln Southwest has a new coach. There's a lot of excitement around.
Yeah, it'll be fun to get it going. What's the first broadcast on the ticket?
Tomorrow, Lincoln Northwest and Pius as they face off in a week 0 game at UBT Stadium. So
that'll be
out
awesome.
of Airport. Come on out. You can see myself and Jay.
Did you did a game at UBT Stadium last year? No,
Nope,
first
it was my
one.
first time.
Oh, that'll
First
be fun.
time at UBT. Woo woo. Yeah, gotta get excited. So no, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Have you been down there? Have you scouted it out?
Have not.
I've driven by. It looks good.
Yeah,
Looks good.
We were out there for Rock's camp at Lincoln Northwest,
But it was
and
not on the
it was
field.
not on the field. Baseball was actually practicing out there. They got a lot of new facilities out there. So
That's what happens when you're a new school.
it's gonna be a lot of exciting things. Make my way down there plenty early tomorrow, and make sure I get my boundary or my bearings, and I know my boundaries of where I can walk and stuff. Because Seacrest, it's like I just move
You
on.
just
Yeah,
go.
you know it. I just go.
Yeah,
I just go.
They're going to build a statue for you at some point.
No, they're not.
He's been
That's
out there
Aaron
so
Davis.
much.
That's Aaron Davis.
Even out there, so there's no statue. Somebody's got to get a statue.
Aaron Davis needs a statue at Seacrest Field.
Maybe he does.
Now, why would AD get a statue at Seacrest?
It's the house that AD built. At
Have you
Lincoln
seen
High.
Have you seen his high school numbers?
No,
Have you?
I'll have to look.
No,
Because I have it.
no, I haven't. But I heard. But he's told us.
Is he good?
He's told us he was really good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you have to be able to walk on to Nebraska. Also set to participate.
What a weird statement. Anyway,
well, also set to be a participant in high school football this year, not in the Lincoln area, but former Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald. According to Adam Rittenberg, he'll be a parent volunteer this season with the football program at Loyola Academy, where his 2 younger sons attend. Like all volunteers, Fitzgerald went through trainings and background check before joining. How silly do you think the people that were training Pat Fitzgerald on how to be a football coach?
well, I'm curious more about the background check. I mean, are we doing this in depth? I mean, you don't have to do it in depth to know that things might be a little rocky recently. But he's got bowl wins, so it's fine.
Yeah, seems pretty.
Loyola
seems
just
like
wants to make the postseason.
Pretty stand-up guy to me.
I do wonder if /win /if once again the time ever comes where it comes out that
it wasn't nearly as bad as it was said to be. Like, what is the drawback or the pushback going to be, not only at Northwestern, but throughout the entire country? Because, like, you see a lot of guys still talking about it. Like, yeah, like there was stuff going on, but nothing nearly like over 100 Northwestern football players just wrote an open letter talking about how, hey, yeah, like there was stuff going on, but not even close to the extent of what got him fired.
More than 1,000.
I like that.
More than 1,000
former Northwestern
former players,
athletes have sent an open letter condemning hazing, quote, in any form, unquote, while defending an athletics culture they say is not represented or defined by allegations that surfaced this summer against some of the school's programs.
They walk through their real good experiences.
277 football players and 4 football managers.
So we still haven't heard anything. Like, as weird as it is, he just kind of got fired, and I'm not like obviously standing up for Pat Fitzgerald. Like, he got fired, and then there was some things about lawsuits.
Yeah.
And now it's just like kind of quiet.
Well, I think that's why you're not hearing anything is the lawsuits. You're supposed to kind of,
I understand
keep
that.
quiet on that.
Yeah, but still, like Derek Gregg still hasn't talked. Like, we're just sitting here, like,
with the Northwestern.
Everybody got mad because Northwestern wore T-shirts.
Yeah.
And Derek
twiddling
Gregg,
our thumbs.
Like, we're like, no, nothing's being talked about. So you don't know what is like. So now we have these open letters where it's like, oh, maybe this is what's true. I don't know. It's just really, really weird. I'm thankful that Nebraska is not Northwestern for a multitude of reasons.
Almost every reason outside
anyway.
of academics.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
I kind of like Northwestern's jerseys.
You kind of like their jerseys?
Rico likes anything non-Adidas.
No, I like their jerseys. I like the purple.
You
Big
like
purple
the color
guy.
scheme?
Big
Hey,
purple.
so you're a Lincoln Northwest guy.
Big purple.
Are you going to adopt Lincoln Northwest? Can I tell Coach that at 1:30?
Maybe. I went.
Do you
So
want
my
to
middle
adopt
my middle
Lincoln
school was the
Northwest?
Falcons. It was red, but it was still the Falcons.
I mean, we can.
Should I adopt? I don't have a Lincoln school.
We should.
I really like Lincoln High, but I don't have.
You're
Like
going to adopt Lincoln Northwest.
Maybe I should.
The Falcons.
Yeah.
I like purple.
You can give us a weekly update on the Falcons.
Eh.
Yeah. Go down and watch
Now
practice.
you've gone too far.
No, go down and watch practice.
Yeah, I don't think I'd watch
I'll ask you
practice.
about
I
it.
might give you an update.
That
Not
means
like
no.
not
That's
like
a no in Rico
not like
terms.
not like you won't be covering that anyways. But I feel like you've already got that.
It's the only Lincoln Northwest game that Jay and I will do.
Wow, rude.
It's not by design.
They're gonna be great.
Somebody got mad.
Lincoln Northwest is gonna win over
Wait.
5 games.
No. I'm not gonna say anything. I hope so. Like, honestly, I think, and we're gonna talk about this. Like, I think a big goal for them is just make it through the season.
Yeah,
I really do.
That is a
that's
start.
okay, and that's totally okay. And from everything I've heard and through conversations with Coach, like it feels like he's the guy for it. He's the guy that's ready to take on this task. So
It is a large task
it
to
is.
be part of a new school, first season of doing this. I mean, half season, whatever. After 3 games, you get your season canceled. So kind of going into this as a brand new season.
with just a lot of guys that I don't want to say they got thrown into it, but like they don't know each other. They don't know each other. They don't know any of them. They're just like, yeah, what school did you used to go to?
Yeah.
Well, I went here.
They'll have
Where'd you go?
seniors this year, right?
They
They didn't have
seniors.
any last
They
year.
didn't have any last year. So that's what's crazy is, leadership and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that. That's why this conversation is going to be real fast.
Yeah, that will be very interesting coming up on the happy hour, which is coming up next year on 93.7 Ticket. One last note, as we've talked college and high school football, just wanted a pro football note real quick. I saw that my Arizona Cardinals, the only team in the NFL not favored in any game, so they might go win.
Yikes.
So just don't choose the Cardinals
First
as your
pick.
favorite team.
Oh, Caleb Williams.
Our Remington Homes has really expanded and taken off in the last 5 years.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. You can select your options. We give you a lot